Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to cover some big questions that a lot of people are asking about. What does it cost to really live there? Can you really live on €1,000 a month? Would that be enough? So sit down, grab your coffee, and let's go over what it really costs to live in Albania, at least in Tirana. So this is going to be the actual day-to-day costs. I'll give you what we actually spend. So you're not seeing some internet fantasy, but you're actually going to see what it really costs. Let's get started. So let's dive right in, shall we? So taking a look, our biggest expense is rent. So we pay €450 a month for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Fresco. There's no extra building fees and it is fully furnished. The best part of it though is the view of the Daiti mountain. It's absolutely gorgeous. However, the trade-off is the location. So Fresco is located about a 30-minute drive outside of the city center. It's still in Tirana, but it's one of those neighborhoods off to the side. However, there's a bus, and for me, that's still a perk. It's just a 5-minute downhill walk to the bus stop and then 10-minute uphill walk home. So for me, it's not a big deal, and the rent is a lot cheaper. So as you get closer into the city, you're going to be looking at about, when we were apartment searching, we found 2-bedroom apartments. They were about 700, 800 a month for what we have for 2-bedroom. And when we seen the 450 a month for a 3-bedroom, we had to take a look at it. And then when we saw it, we fell in love, but also it was a little far. So we were a little shy on that. And then I remember we were in the Airbnb, and 2 days later, I woke up and I looked at Summer and I'm like, I want that apartment. And she's like, me too, I've been thinking about it. So we ended up getting it. So as you can see, the price difference, the closer you are to the city. Also, just some pro tips, the time of year. So if you are near the coast, obviously it'll be more expensive to apartment search in the summer months than it is in the winter or in the fall. And in Tirana, if you apartment search here, I found out from one of my students, it's actually more expensive to rent in August and September because there's only one university, and that's here in Tirana. So all the students are coming here for university. So rents go up, supply demand. Also, I noticed that in Fresco, apartments are about $500 now for a 2-bedroom. So they've gone up since we rented back in April, and I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to inflate. So you want to budget a little bit higher for that. I would say 400, depending if you're looking for a studio apartment or a 1-bedroom, budget 400 to 800 for a 2-bedroom. Next up, utilities. So I took a look at the costs of what we've been spending. So how it works here is our landlord, the utilities are in their name. They pay it and then they let us know, hey, this is the rent, this is the utilities. Well, obviously I know what the rent is. This is the utilities this month. And then I just pay that when I pay the rent. So they actually come to my door, they collect the rent, and that's just how it's done here. So what I've done is I've asked them, for the first couple months, they didn't send me anything. And then I was like, can I get a copy of those receipts? So now what they do is they send me a screenshot of the receipt, and then they're like, this is how much it is. And I'm like, perfect. And then I just pay it with the rent. So now that I'm able to get a breakdown, because the first couple months I was just paying it lump sum, I didn't know what the breakdown of it was. The last few months I've able to break it down. To give you an idea, I was told €100 per month for utilities. That's way more than what we're paying. So in the summer, when we had the AC running 24/7, I was paying $80 a month combined, water and electricity. This month, I was able to get it separated on 2 different receipts. I also had it separated last month, but I forgot to screenshot it and it disappears after 24 hours. So for this month, the electric was 4,535 lek. And the water was 1,229 lek. So roughly €55. So just under 6,000 lek. So let's see here for and that was for water and electricity. That I would say is pretty much going rate for us other than the summer. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like in the winter. For those of you who can't afford to do a discovery trip, if you're out here in the winter, it's a lot damper. So the buildings are made of concrete, so they really absorb that humidity. Now factor that on the main floor where the ground is concrete as well. It's going to be more damp than if you're second, third story where the person underneath you is heating up their apartment. So just keep that in mind. Heat rises, but that also works in the summer. The ground helps keep you cooler, so it offsets it. So next, internet. So fun fact, I had no idea what I had for internet. So here's what happened. I initially got my phone and I was like, okay, I'll get mine. I was paying $15 a month, well, 15 euros a month. And it worked for me. It was fine. 2 weeks later, Summer was like, I need a phone too. And I was like, absolutely, let's get you one now. Because initially we just wanted to get set up, get a local number. We had Wi-Fi at the Airbnb. You know, we didn't really need internet for much. And we were always hanging out together. So no matter what, we had a phone or data if we needed it. And I could hotspot her, not a big deal. And then what happened was eventually it was like, okay, let's get you your own. So we went back to Vodafone. Now there's two major ones here. There's Vodafone and One. One, I believe, is cheaper, but I didn't go with them because I heard that they're more spotty with their services and we want to travel, not just around Albania, but around Europe. So I opted for Vodafone. They are a bigger company and I am less concerned with coverage. I don't know how much truth is into that. Like, I'm just saying what I heard. So I haven't had a problem with Vodafone. So we ended up talking to the lady at the Vodafone store. We went back and she helped us. She spoke English and she helped us out. She was like, okay, then let's get you this. And I looked at it and I was like, okay. So basically I just wanted her to have a phone, me to have a phone. So I figure around 3,000 lek a month, right? 15. And then we also needed internet. Because at this point, we got our apartment and we were like, okay, but we also need internet. So she's like, okay, so let's do this then. So she gave me this package and she's like, it'll give you each your own phone. You'll each have a phone, right? So you got your mobile data and your mobile stuff. And then it'll also give you internet and cable. And it's 35 plus VAT. It came to 37.69 per month in lek. So about 35 euros. So I turned around and I was like, oh, okay. So this is what we have. So the reason I didn't know this, I was just like, okay, whatever. And it worked for us. I don't know. So to do this video, I'm like, what do I have for that price? Because I'm sure you guys are going to want to know. So internet is 15 gigabytes and that is pooled. So it is a family plan. So it's pooled between the two of us. That gives us 15 gigabytes of data, 2,000 minutes, 2,000 text messages. We don't use the minutes, we don't use the text messages. The data is the important one, and we use about 12 to 13 gigabytes a month. So we stay under it. For context, I don't have internet at work. She doesn't have internet at work. We're on data a lot, but at home we have our Wi-Fi, so we use that a lot. And it also gives me 5 members. So if you come here as a family, you could also have 5 members on there. The internet is called Internet Giga Fibra, so fiber. 300 megabytes per second is what we have for our home internet. You can also upgrade that if you need. And it also gives us cable. So the cable here, surprisingly, there's quite a few English channels. So I have National Geographic. I have Animal Planet. There's Disney Junior. There's Disney Channel. A couple others. Like, I'm surprised with what we have. So quite a few. So if you take a look at our internet, our phone plan, like, you know, those bills, and our utilities and our rent, we're looking at about 540, let's say 550 euros per month. Now, the next two things, transportation and food. For the transportation, it's 40 lek per ride each way. So if you have to take a connecting bus on a different bus line, that'll be another 40 lek. Same thing with if you get a bus pass. The bus pass is for that line. You can pay more to get a bus pass that covers all the line, but it's really pointless. Unless you live really far out and you have to take 2 buses to work every day, it's really pointless. So, because it's so cheap to ride. So 40 lek each way. I work 4 days a week. So it costs me 80 lek a day, 4 days a week. And then if I want to take a taxi, so getting around the center, if you stay in the center, you're looking at about $5 to $6 per ride. Where we live a little further out, it's about $10 a ride. So I've seen it as low as 700 if there's no traffic. 700, not even 750 maybe if there's no traffic. But okay. Usually it's about 900, 1,000. It's around there. Hi. Don't eat my hair. Okay, so that would be transportation. I will put a link down below for Pitoko as well. That's what we use for taxis. Again, I'm worried about the foreigner tax. So basically for me, I don't like getting in a taxi. I feel like he can overcharge me, and I'm not in the mood to argue with a taxi driver to negotiate my price. And that's what I like about using the Pitoko app, is that you know what the price is beforehand, and it's really easy to use. I'll do a video on transportation. I swear I'll make it. I'm gonna deep dive into this. So I want to touch base. I'm not going deep into any of these topics because I just want to deliver you the price. I will do separate videos breaking down groceries, breaking down rents, what areas to live in. I even spoke to some local people and I got different areas on what would be the best area to live in and why, what areas they would recommend and why. So I'm going to do all that. I wanted to get this one out first to cover all the bases, and then we'll deep dive into each one coming up in a series. So for Pitoko, I'll put the link down below, and you get credits. I think it's 500 tokens, which is like 500 lek towards rides. Honestly, I highly recommend it. It's basically the Uber for here. Next up is food. So that one there. So food is, it's a little bit, there's so many variables. So for food, there's so many variables. So the reason I'm saying that is because, for example, if we take a look at bread, if you bake bread at home, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Okay, which is same everywhere. But if you go to the bakery, it's like 85 cents a loaf. If you go to the grocery store, it's about $2 a loaf. So the grocery store, you're definitely going to pay a premium. So eggs, bread, vegetables, meat, you're going to pay a premium. Also, pro tip, nobody buys meat at the grocery store, very little people. So I don't know how long it sits there. Go to the butcher's. It's a lot fresher, better. Same thing with vegetables. Some vegetables I will get from the grocery store because they look nicer. But for the most part, I got some vegetables the other day. I got these I wanted to show you. So these are tomatoes I bought. Okay, so these are Roma tomatoes. Yeah. I got about 6 of them. And I also got an onion. And I got 4 peppers, 2 green, 2 reds. And I paid $1.50 for all of them. So, tomatoes, peppers, onions. Can you guess what I made? I'll give you a clue. I also got cheese from the store. So let's see here. I'll give you some examples of some food items. I went over top things so you can compare back home. So hot dogs or sausages, I think there's like 8 in a pack. That's 339 lek. Spaghetti sauce, 369 lek. Milk is 1 liter. It's a 1 liter carton. And that we pay 140. That's not negotiable for us. I need it for my coffee. Flour, 85 cents. 85 lek. Sugar, 65 lek. The flour and the sugar are both 1 kilo bags. Juice, this is our biggest expense because Summer doesn't drink water. So whatever, it's her kidneys. Juice, you're gonna pay anywhere from 69 cents for a 1 liter to 220 is our range that we pay, depending on what she's getting, which, you know, because sometimes you get like that palate fatigue. Water I get from the store here because it's 7 liters and it's 120 lek. So I just carry 2 home. I'm not carrying that from the grocery store or from anywhere else, especially up a hill. So I just go to the store up the hill and come down. Coffee, not negotiable for us. We spend $5.50 and we get, it's like a brick, you know, like those bricks of coffee. And that lasts both of us about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 cups a day. Eggs is another variable. So there are little egg places that you can go to buy, they're like loose eggs, you know, you just buy them, they're in a giant carton, and then you put them in a bag and you bring them home. My problem is I travel far. So like I said, I take the bus, I live a little further out. I don't want them breaking. So I spend the premium and I get them at the grocery store. I just realized though that maybe I could bring that carton with me and then put them in there and bring them home that way because it'll be a lot cheaper. They're insanely expensive at the grocery store. 18 eggs is 479 lek. Right now they're on sale for 279. And 8 eggs is 149, regular 279. So it's on sale right now as well. I will put the flyer link down below so you guys can take a look at the flyer so you can compare different items with what you have back home to give you an idea as well. Macaroni, pasta, spaghetti, linguine, like the packages, the smaller packages, not the bulk ones, are about 89 cents. Right now they're on sale for 55 cents. Olive oil, I spend about €3 for 500 ml. Because it's about 300 lek. Toilet paper, 10 rolls, regular for $5.30. It's on sale right now for $4.89. If you go to the butcher, ground beef is about 1,100 a kilo. That's what it was when we were buying it in the summer. I haven't bought meat in a while, honestly. I bought a bunch and I froze it. And we don't eat meat a whole lot, so I've been going off that. I haven't bought meat in about a month. So then let's see, 2 liter Coke. We don't drink Coke or any soda really, very, very rarely. The only time I've ever bought it here is if they're out of juice and I want something like sweet. Otherwise I'll go with water or juice. But just to give you an idea, and it's not 2 liters here, it's 1.5 liters, is about 160 lek. So shampoo, so like a cheaper brand, Palmolive, it's regular $2, 200 lek a bottle. Nivea body wash, you're looking at about 500 to 600, sale for 500 right now. Greek yogurt, 500 grams, regular 345. It's on sale for 269 lek right now. So I was looking at the flyer, can you tell? Everything's on sale that I'm showing you. You know, a lot of people ask, can I live on $1,000 a month? It comes down to a lot of things, really. Where do you want to live? That's a big factor. And keep in mind, if you need access to healthcare, you're going to want to be closer to the city. If you camera shy, Ruth? Oh, okay. I guess she is. If you want to live closer to the city, then you're going to be paying more. And if you have healthcare issues, if you're coming here and you're retiring, you're going to want to live closer to the city. So now the size of your apartment is going to make the difference. The other thing you have to factor is some buildings don't have elevators. So if you can do stairs, that'll be another factor that you have to consider. For me here, we have an elevator, but often people just use the stairs because they're kind of a pain to use. We have one elevator, it's teeny tiny, and I've been trapped in it once already. So I often use the stairs. To come up, I'll definitely use the elevator. To go down, I generally use the stairs. What else? So there's that. Whether you want to pay the premium, the grocery store premium or not, are you okay with? Because the other thing too is if you're trying to shop cheaper and on a budget, you're going to want to go to different markets. You're going to want to go to the butchers, the markets, the pharmacy. Like you are going to be going to separate places. Alternatively, if you go to the grocery store, you have everything in one spot. Oh, Interspar. Everything is in one spot. But you're going to pay a premium for that. So can you live on 1,000 euros per month? Tightly, yes. But at the same time, you're going to be shopping around. You're going to be living a little further out. You're going to, so there's sacrifices that come with everything, right? So think of it as the more you pay, the more convenience you're going to have. So that's something to consider. But taking a look here, the other thing too is when we got here, going to the grocery store is what we knew. That's how you do it in Canada, right? So that's what we knew. So initially we shopped at the grocery store, and I'm just going to give you an idea. We started transitioning from the grocery store to the markets over the summer into the fall, and you're going to see a big difference on a grocery bill. So I tracked from July to the end of October. So July we spent 442 Canadian at the grocery store. August, 365. September, 97. And October, October, 114. So that 114 is also, so now what we shop there for is we will get spaghetti sauce. We will get pasta. We will get milk, coffee, sugar, flour, our eggs, and that's pretty much it. Like we've drastically brought it down, and now I'm gonna try that egg thing and I'll get back to you. So what I'm gonna do going forward is I'm going to create a series where I'm gonna deep dive into these topics. So one video will be rent different areas to look at, different neighborhoods to live in, coast versus the city. And so the other two deep dives I'm going to want to do is transportation, because I do have a vlog I want to put out on that. I just haven't got around to recording it, and things keep coming up and changing. So things have to get moved around in my schedule. So I want to do transportation. And then we're going to look at food. And this is where we're going to look more at the markets, grocery stores, and we're going to deep dive a little bit more into that. Butchers, pharmacies, that kind of thing. So make sure you subscribe down below, turn the notification on as well. And again, to those of you who are subscribed, I sincerely thank you and appreciate you. Definitely help keep these videos, help me to help keep producing these. So I'm gonna end this here, and we'll see you in the video next week. Mirpavshin.